As a Leicester fan, I would argue that this transfer window that's just been has been the most important window since the one after we won the league. Time showed that the signings we made after we just won the league, like Ahmed Musa and Islam Slimani, were expensive flops for us, and we didn't really improve on the side. Apart from Wilfred Ndidi, but that's only because Kante had left by that point. If Kante had stayed, obviously he's a better player than Wilfred Ndidi. But how did we do in this window?
So, putting it gently, our season has fallen below our expectations that were set at the start. At the time of recording this video, we're sitting 14th place, we're 6 points from the bottom of the table, and we're joint second from bottom for total amount of losses in this season so far. We've conceded 37 goals in 21 games. We had plenty of injuries, shorter ones and also longer ones to like James Justin and Ricardo Pereira, so this January transfer window could not have come quick enough for us. So, who did we bring in this window?
Victor Christiansen. He's a known talent if he played the last few Football Manager games. He's joined from FC Copenhagen for a record Danish Superliga sale of £17 million. At just 20, he's got 50 Superliga appearances, as well as 6 appearances in the Champions League. One particular appearance caught the eye of quite a few scouts, I bet, after he kept a clean sheet against Man City and kept Riyad Mahrez quiet. Christiansen's gone straight into the side over Luke Thomas. He's now got 2 games underneath his belt. I think we can all agree that was the right decision. Nothing against Thomas, he's definitely got some potential, but we're in a relegation battle. We need someone with more experience, and he's got experience at a Champions League level. It was the right decision. He's got quite an intimidating side to him as well. Like, he flattened 1 or 2 players against Villa, which is good to see, bigging up the crowd when he won a corner against Walsall. He could be something absolutely special for us. He combined one of those 1-2s that he's did once or twice as well. He's not been afraid to show exactly what he's got. He was shaky early on against Villa, but it's his debut. That's going to happen. He's coming to a new system. I think he could be something quite special. Little interesting side note about Christiansen is the UEFA website has a similar players section. They do like player profiles. The similar section has Alejandro Grimaldo down, and I think that's a great shout. I could see a lot of that comparison, bombing down the left flank, being able to overlap, and the crosses that he was doing already, you can tell there's got a good standard to him. I mean, he's already on corners. Christiansen could become quite an asset for us.
Tete. Another player with Champions League experience. He comes to City with 2 Ukrainian league titles and a Ukrainian Cup behind him. Frankly, he could have won nothing in his career and we would have still taken him because he's actually a right winger. Tete signed for us on loan until the end of the season from Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm not going to go into the rules on how he can play for us on loan and Lyon on loan in the same season, because it wouldn't surprise me if even bloody Tete doesn't know. But my God, are we just happy he's here. So let's talk about the Villa game. Oh my days, what a debut. I can't remember a better Leicester's debut since Sol Bambas, maybe. Tete completed 5 out of his 6 dribbles against Villa. Just to compare, our highest average dribbles per 90 this season comes from Dewsbury Hall with 1.2. So, yeah. Whenever he was on the ball, it was exciting. His first touch was instantly impressive and his confidence was so immense for someone playing on his Premier League debut. To round a World Cup winning goalkeeper in your first game for the club, that is huge. I know there's been some concerns about this position even after the window is finished because we loaned out Albrighton and Ayoze Perez, but Tete doesn't have a history of injuries. I know I'm jinxing him. And Maddison can play there as well as Pereira when he's back from injury too. With Tete fit, we should see a bit more of what we did at Villa, where Maddison went well central and can help improve our playmaking abilities and give us more attacking options going forward. That'd be fantastic. Also, keen-eyed stalkers on Twitter will have noticed that L'Equipe posted an article that Tete was in fact joining Leeds instead of Leicester. Gave quite a few of us Leicester fans heart attacks, but it was just a typo, thank the heavens. Harry Souttar. One of the biggest units in a City shirt since Robert Huth, Harry Souttar joins Leicester City in arguably our most desperate position to fill this window, which was centre-back. Our defence has been woeful at times this season, especially at the start of the year, so collectively we put a lot of hope in Harry hitting the ground running. At 6'6", he could be a great asset in the air and also quite an intimidating presence in general. Personally, I feel like we've lacked proper physical intimidation at the back since Huth and Morgan, so this is definitely welcome. Rodgers cited that he was particularly impressed with Souttar's World Cup performances for Australia, so for him to play very well on the biggest stage of all really sets up perfectly to get injured and miss the rest of the season, so we have to put up with the Amati party even longer. Ooh, could you imagine? Despite the own goal, I feel like he showcased his abilities really well against Villa. His passing was accurate, he won mostly everything in the air, connected well with Castagne. Hopefully a sign of things to come, a bit of stability at the back would be fantastic. During his time at Stoke, he played very well for him, and a lot of the fans was quite upset that he was gone. But that nasty ACL injury got not too long ago has not been too far out of my mind when I think of him playing. And it's mainly because of our injuries this season, our medical team seem to use hammers instead of plasters, so I'm hoping he stays fit. Oh yeah, quick side note, Leicester also signed a young striker called Nathan Opoku, but I'm not going to give an overview of him. He's a youth development signing. He's already gone out on loan to our Belgian affiliate to get first team experience, so he's not really focused for this season. I'd give the overall rating for this window 7.5, generous 8. Definitely gone up to that generous 8 in my mind because of the debut, and it's been the first January window in a few years that we've properly chucked money about, so good to see the fans being happy about that again. If Leeds hadn't messed us about in the last minute and cancelled Jack Harrison's transfer to give Barnes that extra push to try and help him fight to keep his spot, because I know he's been a bit inconsistent this season, I think it would have been a 9 out of 10. I think the only way I'd ever give it a 10 out of 10 if Harrison joined and Vestergaard or Bertrand were moved on too, but that wasn't meant to be. Still, very happy with this window. Out of interest, what would you give Leicester's transfer window out of 10? Who do you think will be the best out of these signings? Thank you for listening.